hi, welcome to part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, you probably are wondering why this is in 2 parts and why I look like this. Believe it or not, it's not because of the quality of the movie. But if you want to know, go watch part 1. Anyway, let's continue. Child boy chases after her, roller skating into a building, which sounds insanely safe. The music does this weird thing in the elevator, which makes it sound like it was artificially extended in the editing. Like the editor cut a part of the song in this scene and looped it because it wasn't long enough for this totally necessary elevator shot. He also asks where Mr. Buck's office is as he's going in the direction of his office.
Mr. Buck's office, which way?
This Christmas special is so well made that you can barely tell how poorly made it is. Cousin Mel's attorney, Slime, informs him that he's too late.
Who are you?
Cousin Mel's attorney. I am Slime.
You said it, not me.
Sorry,
What the fuck does pacing mean?
Now, Austin, darling, why don't we go somewhat romantic and consummate this deal?
What? She really is horny for him. Holy shit, that wasn't even subtle. Are we sure she wants the money, or does she just want to plow the CEO guy? What's great is that the kid is like, no, please don't go through with the deal. I'm trying to find grandma. And Cousin Mel's like, nah, let's have sex and close the deal. And the CEO looks at her and is like, no, actually, I'll give the kid more time.
You got it, kid. This deal doesn't close till the end of the week.
He just straight up doesn't want her. That's brutal. Anyway, the CEO then gives the kid some advice.
A bit of advice. If you really believe Grandma was run over by Santa's reindeer, then find him.
Considering we established earlier that he does not believe in Santa, that means he's telling the kid to go to the North Pole and freeze to death. After being berated by his sister about how much of a pathetic failure he is at finding Grandma, he heads over to his epic compact Presario to play Half-Life with the worst keyboard I've ever seen.
You're right, doofus.
Every time they say his name in the special, it catches me off guard.
I'm afraid Doofus got out again.
It sounds so aggressive. It's like if I name my cat Dipshit. Anyway, Doofus then makes him realize he could just email Santa.
To Santa Claus at santaclausisreal.com.
What? That sounds more like a conspiracy newsletter than an actual email. Jake also decides to send a picture with his email, which means he'll probably have to wait another year for a response, considering how long it'll take Santa to load that image on his computer and see it. There's an Apple startup sound when he sends the email.
Send.
Which is weird because that's not when the noise would play. And also that's absolutely not what Apple computers looked like back then. Anyway, Jake's stupid email containing an image that's probably a couple megabytes is too big for the 2000s 100 kilobit internet to handle, so thus it short circuits the power lines and causes a satellite to explode. Thanks, Jake, you fucking asshole. Anyway, we're then introduced to Santa Claus, who exists, and is sad that nobody in Cityville is bothering to send him letters. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything to say here. I literally couldn't think of a single thing to write into the script, so I'm just gonna let Doug Walker, nostalgia critic, say something while I take a sip.
Classic case of amnesia, can't remember a thing.
Wait, is it me or does Santa sound Jewish?
I'm full of Christmas semen.
Anyway, receding hairline elf gives Santa the letter from Jake asking where the fuck his grandma went. As it turns out, Santa kidnapped her. Yeah, she's just in a bed in Santa's hospital, I guess. Also, when he calls for her, she can't remember who she is, leading Santa to tell someone that she has amnesia.
Classic case of amnesia, can't remember a thing.
I don't know who he's telling, other than us, I guess. I mean, he's had her in his custody for 9 months. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows. Anyway, after finally finding out whose family this grandma is in, Santa tells receding hairline elf to reply immediately.
Email or reply immediately.
I have a better idea.
Let me stop you right there. No, the fuck you don't. You kidnapped a woman for 9 months that you damaged so hard that she forgot who she was. Please listen to Santa and start returning her immediately. Anyway, immediately after saying that he has a better idea for what to do, it crossfades to the kid's bedroom as he's sleeping. Why did the scene transition to this place after he said something like that? What is that shadow?
Nothing. Hi, I'm Quincy, Santa's elf.
What are you doing here? What the fuck? Stranger danger! What are you doing? Get out of there before he kidnaps you too!
Old Saint Nick and Mrs. Claus.
Parents, Please teach your children about stranger danger. Who thought this sequence of events happening in the movie was a good idea? Look at how he pitches this idea of taking the kid with him to the North Pole.
I came to ask a question. Would you like to find your grandma? Then follow me.
Yeah, that isn't the most suspicious face and sentence I've ever heard in my fucking life. Okay, so Minecraft YouTuber Elf takes the fucking kid with him to the North Pole because that seems totally legal and completely ethically sound.
You better have a good reason why you broke elf code and brought a human here.
Oh, it's not even legal in Elf World. What the fuck? Anyway, Santa allows it because he likes Jake so much.
The Jake Spakenheimer who loves rollerblades? It's nice to finally meet someone from Cityville who still believes in me, which is why you're not sweeping up reindeer.
Anyway, Santa takes him to his grandma, and grandma's like, who's this little shit?
Okay, I'll bite. Who is he?
The kid explains to her how bad everything's gotten, and grandma is like, yeah, I don't remember anything, but I do have the exact same opinion I would have if I did. So the gang head back to Dick Balls and fly over Mel and Slime, who are just standing outside the building doing nothing. Cousin Mel and Slime notice Jake and Santa just walk into the building and are like, oh no, our fortune.
There goes your fortune and my 50%.
10%.
30%.
Done.
Apparently they never discussed payment until now. They formulate a plan to keep Grandma missing. Slime takes the bit that attaches the reindeer to the sleigh off, and they run away to some random tub of water that's outside for some reason. Why is this here? Anyway, Slime comes over and tells Grandma they sent her down to get her.
Grandma Spankenheimer, they sent me down to get you. Now, if you'll just follow me.
Sure, sweetie.
Who's they? And take her where? Well, Grandma doesn't give a shit. You know, fuck this elf. Santa gave him one job, which was to keep an eye on things, and he just didn't.
Quincy, keep an eye on things.
Right.
Which means Slime could go near the sleigh and detach the reindeer, thus distracting him, and thus kidnapping Grandma again. Everything bad that happens after this point is his fault. Jake tells business guy that they have Grandma and that Santa will explain while he gets Grandma. Why didn't the kid bring the Grandma in the first place? Because Grandma was at risk of vomiting due to the harsh landing.
I better sit here till my stomach catches up to the rest of me.
There's no time, Grandma.
Anyway, Santa explains how the reindeer ran into Grandma because of a reason. From the animation, we can judge it's because of the smell of the fruitcake. Basically, the reindeer are dicks and completely disregarded the job they've been doing for thousands of years because something smelled good to them, causing real tangible harm to an elderly woman.
Oh, I better get you medical attention. Quincy, leave a note explaining what happened.
Also, for some reason, despite the emphasis earlier in the movie that she was knocked face down, she was actually knocked face up. It's not like she rolled over or anything, because there's no second imprint in the snow. Anyway, because of this, Santa takes her to get medical attention at the North Pole, which apparently is a utopia where every kind of medical care is free.
Every therapy and treatment imaginable at no ho-ho-ho cost.
Looks like someone's safe from getting shot this year. Also, while we're on the adjacent topic of CEOs, the one in this film seems to not be going with the default I'm evil approach most do in fiction and in real life. Like, after Santa tells him that Grandma is still alive and thus has custody over the building and thus he has no right to buy the store, he's just like, oh, all right, thanks for clearing that up.
I'm eager to see Grandma and tell her the sale is off.
Though, immediately after, when it's revealed that Grandma disappeared again, Cousin Mel, I guess, makes the CEO realize that Santa just admitted to running her over and is the reason why she disappeared, so he's thrown in jail.
Since Grandma is nowhere to be found, I demand that you have Santa arrested for the disappearance of Grandma.
Meanwhile, Grandma's just being held in some fucking shack in the middle of nowhere by the lawyer. Like, Slime just presented herself as someone from the Onal Corporation coming to bring her upstairs. Why didn't Grandma question at all why she's being taken to a shed? Anyway, Mel and Slime start scheming and clearly detailing an evil plan involving Grandma right in front of her, and apparently she can't hear them or doesn't give a shit. Like, she has amnesia, but she hasn't forgotten language. Anyway, they deduct a plan to keep Grandma hidden so they can win a court case against Santa for her disappearance and have legal grounds to sue him and win all of his money. Through some kind of calculations, they realize that they'll make woof.
Your share as Grandpa's financial advisor is woof.
Woof!
Oh boy, I sure hope that this realization of how much money they could make results in a song where they constantly repeat, Grandpa's gonna sue the pants off of Santa for a fucking minute.
I
I'm so happy I could come right now. If they're suing the pants off of Santa, does that mean we're gonna get to see his This is probably one of the most notorious parts of the special. I mean, it is re-uploaded to YouTube a lot. Much like many other parts of the special, the song is by Dr. Elmo and seems to be from this one album called Twisted Christmas.
Grandpa's gonna sew the pants off of Santa.
I don't know why they decided to change it to this weird tropical remix that goes on for 3 hours longer than it should, though. I don't know what part of this I like more. The woman just saying words into the microphone between verses.
He knows some boys on his side. Because Grandma would have wanted him to. No pantalones. Santa's going for a ride. Vamonos.
Or the fact they took the last line of the song and just copy-pasted it twice really poorly.
Santa's going for a ride. Santa's going for a ride. Santa's going for a ride.
Okay, so after whatever the fuck that shit was, we're taken to the court where there's a bunch of protesters outside. Mr. Lawyer of the state or whatever is talking to the jury that clearly doesn't want to be there about how if the beard fits, they must convict.
So, if the beard fits, you must convict.
Get it? It's a Rick and Morty reference.
And if you think my top is cute, you cannot execute.
I appreciate this movie throwing in some humor for the grown-ups in the audience.
If he goes to jail, it will be the end of Christmas. What can I do, Grandpa?
Find Grandma. No shit.
So they realize now, months after Grandma disappeared again, that Cousin Mel might be behind it because she's the only person in the world who hates Grandma.
Everyone loves Grandma. Who would do such a thing? Cousin Mel!
No shit.
The child then finds Grandma in the cabin and lures Cousin Mel out. The kid and Elf do a trench coat stack. Of course this elf would own a trench coat. They tell Mel her car is being surrounded by bears.
If that's your car parked down by the road, some bears are hanging around it.
I don't know why her car is around here. This either means she requires a car drive to get down here and the kid is able to follow her at the speed of a car, or her car is just parked in the driveway of their house and this is in their backyard and they just never bothered to check their backyard cabin for months for Grandma. This special is such bad writing that I can barely understand why it exists. I actually used barely right this time. That's my character arc for today. Anyway, now that Jake has his grandmother back, he starts the complex plan to jog her memory. The store she's spent years working in, presumably decades, doesn't do anything for her. But her shitty fruitcake? Everything. Just like that.
Jake, what am I doing here?
I like how she says that after regaining her memory, because she should remember what her kitchen looks like now. She didn't forget what was happening 10 seconds before while also regaining her memory, did she?
You remember? Oh, yeah.
That seems like a line reading and reaction and animation sequence for a much different context than what's happening. Anyway, after gaining her memory back, they make their way to the court to expose Cousin Mel's chicanery. They bring in Grandma, thus proving to the court that Santa didn't kidnap her, even though he did.
Santa is innocent.
I'm Grandma, and I'm not missing.
Since Grandma isn't missing, Santa Claus is innocent of causing her disappearance.
Justice is a fucking myth. Lawyer from earlier still brings up how Santa committed a hit and run, so in response, the kid hands out fruitcake.
This one was made by Grandma using her special ingredients. Compare it to the cake found at the scene of the alleged crime.
Which everyone loves now, I guess, even though there was a whole song earlier about how it sucked. Anyway, Jake reveals that the fruitcake Grandma had when she was murdered wasn't just a normal fruitcake. It had reindeer nip in it. And Santa's reindeer are such drug addicts that he careened towards Grandma, knocking her on the head for a taste of the stuff.
It had the effect of reindeer nip. It wasn't Santa's reckless driving.
I couldn't control myself.
This further proves Santa's innocence somehow.
The boy has done it again.
You have poor judgment.
I also like how this wasn't Cousin Mel's plan. She just wanted to poison the people who ate the fruitcake so they wouldn't want to come back to Grandma's store. So she just happened to use reindeer nip and capitalize on a completely different plan. Also, Doofus brings in the note Santa left, proving Mel hid it.
This is a note Santa left explaining everything. Dust it for fingerprints.
How do you know that? You just got the note and found out it existed. So the kid makes her admit to everything bad she's ever done in her life, and now she's going to prison.
I hid the note.
And?
I made Grandpa sign over his rights to the
And?
I'm behind this evil truck.
Luckily for the CEO, though, he has a thing for women in stripes.
Babe, you look great in stripes.
Yeah, I'm being serious. I guess he changed his mind from earlier and wants to fuck her now. Unfortunately, we never get to read what's on the note Santa left when he kidnapped her, which will annoy me until the end of time, or at least until I forget about this movie.
Santa Claus, you are hereby found innocent of all charges.
I didn't know kidnapping a member of someone's family for 9 months was legal, just as long as you left a note telling them. But now that I do, I know what I'm doing this weekend. I still don't know why Santa was acquitted of his crimes, especially the one involving her disappearance. Cause, like, he was actually responsible for that. Anyway, the court celebrates Santa's immunity from the law, and they get to walk down the courthouse steps surrounded by all of his clones. Anyway, everyone's proud of Jake and hugging him and saying how he saved Christmas.
We're so proud of you, Jake.
You never gave up, even when the rest of us did.
Damn, this is so sweet. I'm expecting that diabetes diagnosis anytime now. How the fuck did I catch avian influenza?
So, Jake, what do you want for Christmas?
I already got the best Christmas gift ever.
Oh, how sweet. You don't need any presents because you got the only present you need. A family member being returned to your family after being abducted. Only, the person you're talking to is the one that took them away from you to begin with. Do you need, like, a reminder of that? Well, here's one anyway, because, oops, Grandma's run over again because this stupid fucking reindeer smells his crack for a second time.
Reindeer nip, not again!
And that was the epic shit heap disaster known as Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, the movie. And I guess that was my review of it. Again, I'm not pretending as though this is any kind of in-depth analysis of the movie like what I tried doing with Five Nights at Freddy's or Zootopia. Yeah, remember when I reviewed Zootopia for 2 hours? That was fun. Video probably sucks now. I don't know. I refuse to watch anything I've made that's more than like 2 years old. You can watch it though. Or if you want, you can watch my other Christmas specials. It's been like 4 years since I've made one because I suck at making videos so much. Those ones are probably way worse though. I couldn't deliver a line to save my life. To be serious, slightly more serious for a second, I do apologize for not making as many videos as I wanted to this year. I am proud of what I made this year, but yeah, the output's been pretty bad. Ever since the 2020s, it seems as though my mental state and my video output has had a similarity, which is to say, for the past couple years, it's been shit. Anyway, my video output and I guess my mental state is something I hope to improve on at least a bit going into next year. I mean, I've already been making progress in terms of video plans for next year now that I've had a break from college and can catch my fucking breath for a second. My lack of video output this year is also kind of a reason as to why this video is a nothing serious, just pissing around type video. If I put like any more thought into this video, it probably would have been late. And I mean, it's already late, but it would have been out like next year. It's 2025. So I hope that this was a decent enough video to end the year. I had fun making it at least. I hope to come back next year all refreshed and hopefully release at least 6 videos because that's more than the 5 videos I released this year. And finally, I wanted to give a big special thank you to the $5 patrons. Better Watch TV, DJ FJD, Dr. Feho, and Fedadaf. Also, thank you, Frog on the Fritz, for donating to me in my absence. You aren't donating anymore, which is fine, by the way. You don't have to donate if you don't want to, but I do want to thank you just because you donated to me within my absence and you didn't get a shout out for a while. Also, thank you, Better Watch TV, for donating to me twice in a month for a while. Also, again, I just wanted to give a little bonus shout out for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll see you in 5 years.